Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. जब विश्वपाद पुराण सपजकाचार्य शोधर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस से भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जब विश्वपाद परम सपजकाचार्य शोधर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। कलिग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 9th, Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy, Text 2nd. रूपं यद् एतत् अवबोधरसोदयेन शश्वन्निवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतम् अवतारशतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनात् अहम् आविरासम्। रूपं यत् एतत् अवबोधरसोदयेन शश्वन्निवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतम् अवतारशतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनात् अहम् आविरासम्। रूपं यत् एतत् अवबोधरसोदयेन शश्वन्निवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतम् अवतारशतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनात् अहम् आविरासम्। Mataji's. Word by word meaning. Kindly repeat. Rupam, form. Yat, which. Etad, that. Avabodharasa, of your internal potency. Udayena, with the manifestation. Shashvat, forever. Nivritta, freed from. Tamasa, material contamination. Sad anugrahaya, for the sake of the devotees. Adav, original in the creative energy of matter. Grahitam, accepted. Avatara, of incarnations. Shata eka bijam, the root cause of hundreds. Yad, that which. Nabhipadma, the navel lotus flower. Bhavanat, from the home. Aham, myself. Avirasam, generated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination and has advented to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations, and I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. Purport. The three deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar, Shiva, the executive heads of the three modes of material nature, passion, goodness and ignorance, are all generated from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, who is described herein by Brahma. From the Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, many Vishnu incarnations expand at different ages and the duration of the cosmic manifestation. They are expanded only for the transcendental happiness of the pure devotees. The incarnations of Vishnu who appear at different ages and times are never to be compared to the conditioned souls. The Vishnu Tattvas are not to be compared to deities like Brahma and Shiva, nor are they on the same level. Anyone who compares them is called a Pashandi or infidel. Tamasa, mentioned herein, is the material nature, and the spiritual nature has a completely separate existence from Tama. Therefore, spiritual nature is also called Avabodha Rasa or Avarodha Rasa. Avarodha means that which completely nullifies. In the transcendence, there is no chance of material contact by any means. Brahma is the first living being. And therefore, he mentions his birth from the lotus flower generated from the abdomen of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gavratvishve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namos Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, would you like to come closer this side? I think little bit scattered about. So, welcome everyone for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Those who have come in the temple hall and those who are hearing online. So in this verse, we have reached to the beginning of Brahma's day, right? It is almost what happens at the beginning of Brahma's day. Various devotees have been discussing about this topic, giving various perspective to this wonderful pastime which has happened many millions and billions of years before, which has been documented in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this type of information, it is not just a simple information, it's a divine transcendental knowledge which has a power to transform our hearts. Usually we hear a lot of things, information, but there is no transformation. But this type of transcendental information has a power to transform our heart if we hear it attentively. And here we can see that the discussion is that Brahma was trying to understand his own self, what is his origin, He meditated for many years. And in the previous canto also, there was discussion on how Brahma meditated. And there it is mentioned that Brahma performed that type of austerity meditation for 1,000 years according to the calculation of demigods. So that we must understand that in the second canto, chapter 9, it is given 1,000 years according to the calculation of demigods. And in the previous chapter of this third canto, it is mentioned Brahma performed meditation. He searched for 100 years of his life. Right? So sometimes it may appear to be contradictory that how if he performed meditation for 100 years, that means his life was almost over. Right? So these type of contradictions we may come across in Srimad Bhagavatam, but we must understand that these things have been discussed by our acharyas, Shukadeva Goswami, Srila Vyasadeva, Srila Narad Muni, and they have happened in different times, different ages, and they have assimilated everything, the essence. And we can never know that in which exact kalpa or Brahma's day these things have happened. We can safely assume that this pastime has happened in this day of Brahma. That Brahma, he was face to face with Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. At the end of Brahma's day, when there is a partial annihilation, last time we also discussed about the partial, 4 types of annihilations. And at the end of Brahma's one day, there is a partial annihilation, naimittik pralaya. And during that time, all the 3 planetary systems, Bhur, Bhur, Swar, Bhur Loka, this is Bhur Loka, this is a earthly planetary system. Then above is Bhuvar Loka, is a solar planetary system. And Swarga Loka is a lunar planetary system, moon planetary systems. So they are all under they get submerged in water. There is water of inundation everywhere. All the living entities on the earthly planet, they are submerged. They go in the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Here it is explained. And they remain unmanifested. There is no kind of consciousness that time. It is unmanifested, avyakta rupa. And here what is happening at the top? All lower planetary system till the 3 planetary system, they are submerged in water. But here on the top, Brahma is still existing. And some sages, those who are on the higher planets, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, they have a power to go to the still higher planetary system, Satyaloka or something. And this type of information is, we cannot get into any ordinary our education system. There is so much knowledge has been given in the material education system. But this type of knowledge, what is happening at the beginning of creation, how this material world is created, who was existing, Sometimes there are so many doubts about creation. Who was the beginning there? Who created? All these questions have been systematically answered in Srimad Bhagavatam. And therefore we must understand that this Srimad Bhagavatam is not an ordinary book. It is a transcendental book, it's a divine knowledge. And to understand, to enter into those intricacies, one has to have proper state of consciousness. If there is no proper state of consciousness, if there is no attentiveness, then we cannot enter into those mysteries. Or sometimes we may think that it is a mythology. It was somebody has written some imaginary things. We'll also try to see what is imaginary and what is real. So this material world was created by the power of the Supreme Lord. The entire universe, all the universes, in fact, we have some idea of this universe. And this universe is also a big mystery for us to understand. We'll see that how this entire material creation is just a reflection of the Supreme Lord's original abode. When the Supreme Lord, as Mahavishnu, he saw that, he glanced over this material nature. And why glance? Because the living entities had material desires. They wanted to enjoy this material world. They wanted to enjoy separately from God. Can close the door. So, living entities, they wanted to enjoy this material world, or they wanted to become separate from God. So the Supreme Lord, out of His causeless mercy, He creates this material world. And this material world is being created in such a way that it appears to be very real. And living entity can feel that I am enjoyer, I am the doer, master, controller of whatever I have. And every living entity in this material universe wants to control. That is the basic inherent reason for coming in this material world. Some controlling tendency. From smallest insect to the greatest demigod. There is some controlling tendencies there. And this has been granted, this has been given, so that one can feel that I am the real controller. But actually, it is not. One cannot be the supreme controller. One may be the temporary controller. And these demigods, or these supreme, powerful living entity as Brahma, original demigods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, as we say, trinity of this universe. They were existing. And they saw that this is a big project here. We want to create all the living entities. They should feel that they are enjoying and they should have proper positions in this material world. They should get a feel that they are the enjoyer. And at the same time, if they utilize their proper free will, they can become free from this material world and go back home, back to Godhead, which is the original home. This is a temporary world, temporary existence. Somebody wants to get the feel that I am the controller, they can get exact feeling that I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am the master. But those who realize that no, this is not the real place, there is something missing here. It may appear that there is a happiness in this material world, but it is not. It is a virtual happiness. And I have to find out what is the source of this original happiness, or where is the original happiness. So when somebody develops that curiosity, then this material world, one can remain in the material world, but still not become of this material world, and remain focused on his own goal of going back home, back to God. Now, these three powerful gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, Lord Shiva, they are present before creating these different planetary systems. So there is a great unity between them, because they see that there is a project, they have to unite, they have to remain united, they have to cooperate with each other, and they have to create these different species and all. And they should create this material world in such a way that everyone feels, every living entity feels that he is controlled. So Brahma takes the charge of creation, which is in the mode of passion. Lord Shiva, he decides that I am looking after all these ganas and those who are into mode of ignorance. I'll take charge of mode of ignorance. That is what Shivji, out of his compassion, he does. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. And that is the mercy of Lord Shiva. He decides, I will take charge of mode of ignorance. And Vishnu, he takes charge of mode of goodness, maintenance. Because to maintain something, person has to be in the mode of goodness. Otherwise, things cannot be maintained. Creation is in the mode of passion. Something has to be created. Person is just too much into passion. Without passion, one cannot create. And we can see any creation that requires a lot of passion. And it takes some time to create. And destruction doesn't take much time. Right? Destroying, it takes some time, but doesn't take much time to destroy as much as it takes time to create. At a mode of goodness, maintenance, if we have to maintain for years and years, decades, then it requires a lot of mode of goodness. Because creation without maintenance leads to destruction. Creation without maintenance leads to destruction. If it is not maintained properly, somebody has to maintain the sound. Otherwise, This lecture will be destroyed. So, therefore, maintenance requires a lot of mode of goodness. Somebody has to be alert. Otherwise, negligence and things get destroyed. So, therefore, these three powerful gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, we may have just a glimpse of these three. Sometimes people don't know who are the main gods actually. They think that Bappa is our God. We had a big festival here. And one gets a glimpse of what is happiness or what is virtual happiness. This festival was celebrated for 10 days, right? 10, 11 days. And people were enjoying. They were happy. Now, if we go more deeper and try to understand what was that happiness, and what was the real happiness they were actually searching for, then our faith in Srimad Bhagavatam will increase. I'll give the example of a DJ playing music. Okay. Okay. So, there was so much procession was going on, and people are following, and there is one DJ. He has his instrument, and he has a lot of power to influence people around him. And he starts some music. And the influence of that music is that people around are into a different world. Okay. Now what DJ is doing, he's playing a music which is some song which is old, many years before it had happened, which was shown on the screen with audio and visuals. Okay. That was the original kind of, in that relative world, that was the original reality. And now this song is just some music. There is no lyrics. But it gives a partial glimpse of that reality. And that influence of that partial reality is so much that the person who is listening to that song, he connects with that original movie or whatever song, hero, and he starts identifying. He starts feeling that I am that hero. And he feels that I am that one, and I am enjoying like that hero. And what that hero is thinking, actually he is a very confused person. He's saying, who am I? Who am I? Try to identify me. Where I have come from. He doesn't know. He's speaking the truth. He doesn't know. Who am I? मैं हूँ कौन? मुझे पहचानो. कहाँ से आया? He doesn't know. So he has created that kind of image on the screen. And person who is watching that, he feels, I want to be like him. Because he is a happy person. Now, if you see that person who acted at that time, was that real? It was not real.
he acted for some time. His real life is different. He acted to make money, to entertain people. He acted in such a way, such a passionate way to influence people. And people, those who are watching, they think that this is reality. I want to be like him. He's confused, so I also want to be confused. Or sometimes he takes some drink. It is showing that he takes some drink, but it is not actual drink. But people in the reality, they start drinking because he is drinking. And how he suffers by drinking that. I want to suffer like him because he is more happy, or how he is suffering. I want to experience that. So we can imagine the influence of that two-dimensional virtual reality on a person. In the real life, person tries to imitate like that person. He wants to imagine that I am that person. He lives in that virtual reality. That person is different and you are different. But in the mind, person thinks that I am that person. So, when the DJ is playing that music, he is giving a partial glimpse of that song. It is not the original song, there is no lyrics. But a person who is in front dancing, forgetting the world, he imagines in his mind that I am that person. I want to be like him. So where is the happiness? He feels that I want to be like that person, and that person was also imagining that he is that hero for that some time. And it was shown on that screen, silver screen or whatever screen. For some time, it manifested for some time, and it ended. The end, everything ended. But during that time, one thinks that I am into that world. So therefore, this type of virtual reality is created in the material world. Virtual happiness. It was not the original happiness. Even the person who is singing, who is dancing, is just imagining that he is happy. But it is not his original happiness. Because he is imagining himself to be someone else. It is like a dream. And how long it lasts? Just few minutes. 2-3 minutes. And DJ changes the music. He puts some other song. And a person goes into that world. And he starts imagining that he is that hero. And it is going on. So we can understand that the happiness of this material world, the virtual happiness, it is created for some time. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it will end after some time. Now, when we come to our reality, only on the screen what was happening, it was just audio and visuals. There was no sense of touch or smell or taste. Only our eyes and ears were involved. That is the effect of this virtual reality. And in today's time, that silver screen has been replaced by touch screen. It has come in our hand. And even smaller than that is just one small application. What is the size of that application? Anybody has measured? By that small fancy gadgets, there are so many small things are there, icons. What is the size of that application? 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Smallest. may have bigger icons, but 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. That is the size of that application. But what is happening? Our whole world is into that small application. Every time we go and click on that small application. इसलिए our मोगलीला प्रभु कभी कभी कहते हैं कि अरे अरे आपकी ये उंगली उस बटन पे क्या कर रही है. Of course it's an ad, it's a funny ad, it's not. But he's trying to show that what you are doing. Again and again going to that same app, clicking on that same thing. Because we are so much absorbed into that, we think that this is the world. But is that the real world? It is not actually. It is temporarily created for some time. It will manifest and it will end. Those who are software engineers, computer engineers, they know that this is just a screen. It's all the electronic particles have been thrown for some time, they're manifested, and at the same time they're vanishing. They are no permanent there. There is no permanent happiness. But a person who is a seer, he is absorbed so much that he thinks that this is permanent happiness. So therefore, when we connect ourselves, when we realize our own self, then we'll realize that the happiness of this material world, or the existence of this material world, even this material world which we see with our eyes, we can hear, we can taste, smell, touch, these material elements are also not permanent. Here Brahma was given that power to create this illusory world, so that the living entities can get the glimpse of happiness. One can feel that I am happy here in this material. But real happiness is still higher. We are trying to get a glimpse of happiness through these material senses. Therefore it is said that Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriya sevan mukhe jivado swayam eva spuratya. That Krishna's name, pastimes are not on the material platform. Material platform has a temporary. It is a temporary. The entire material world is temporary. It was manifested at certain time. It is getting maintained, and it will get destroyed. But person keeps thinking that I will be happy. I will be happy after some years. If I struggle more, I will be more happy. If I earn more, if I have more followers, if I have more influence, more net worth, I'll be happy. But it is not like that. If you are not satisfied within, one cannot be satisfied outside. And here Brahmaji is performing these austerities, and he is able to see the Lord. Now we can understand that seeing the Lord is not easy thing. We may stand in front of Radha Gopinath and try to look at him for hours and hours. We may see him, but does he see you? Does he see us? He also sees us, but we don't realize that he is seeing us. When he sees us, actually he looks at us, then our lives will be transformed. We'll question ourselves what I am doing in this material world. I should be serving the Supreme Lord. That is my original constitutional position. And Brahmaji was allowed to see the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Now Brahmaji, we may think that Brahmaji has a material body or the body of intelligence. how with the material senses one can see this transcendence. Is it possible? Something which is a transcendental, paroksh, apar, which is apara, para, which is beyond our material senses, which cannot be conceived with our material senses, how Brahmaji is able to see? Brahmaji is able to see because Lord has allowed him to see. Otherwise, Lord does not give his darshan to everyone. Naham Vedirna tapasana danina cheche. That does, Krishna does not allow anybody to see him like that. He hides himself from his internal potency. Yogamaya samavata. But when somebody has a sincere desire, when somebody has performed sufficient austerities, he has proven his sincerity, then Lord will reveal to him. That is the mercy of the Lord. And here Brahma was into that state of consciousness. Brahma performed tapasya and he was able to see. Hiranyakashipu performed tapasya and what was the result? Right? Brahma performed tapasya with the right consciousness. His motives were clear. He had a sincere service attitude. He did not want to control people or he did not want to misuse the power. His focus was that I want to create this different species of life so that living entities have an opportunity to perfect their lives. Hiranyakashipu performed tapasya with the consciousness that he wants to control, he wants to torture people, he wanted to become God himself, he wanted to become immortal, defying all the laws of this material world. He also performed very severe austerities. So much austerities that his body was shrunk. His body was submerged into that anthill, and he was maintaining his life in his bones. Can you imagine what type of austerities he had performed? We cannot perform. We do not have that type of power also. And he was performing that austerity and the entire universe was disturbed. Because his consciousness was improper. All the demigods were disturbed. And then Brahma had to come and give him blessing. Please stop now. Whatever you want, you take it, but don't disturb everyone. And in that way, he got all the powers. But his consciousness was different. He wanted to destroy, he wanted to become the controller. So therefore, just performing austerities, we may not get the same result. We need to check our own consciousness. Whether my consciousness is proper, I am doing the things in the right consciousness, in the right motive. Is my consciousness is to serve the God, serve the Lord? Or I am asking something material, which I feel that I need it, which may be harmful for me. So that we need to check ourselves. We need to purify our consciousness. Then we will be able to come to that level. The pure consciousness, the pure desire to serve God. And in that pure consciousness only, we will be able to get the glimpse of purity. What is pure level? Otherwise, we may come in front of God and ask so many material benedictions. Please help me with passing my exam. Please help me getting married. Please help me getting a good job or a good house. Krishna will give. If we have sufficient pious credits, he can give this as a byproducts. We don't need to perform so many austerities. We need to purify our own consciousness. That is what it is needed. And therefore Brahma, he had come to that realization that I have to perform austerities to create this material world, but at the same time I need to realize my constitutional position. I have been given some institutional position as Brahma. Create. Institutional position is given. You do some service. But institutional position should not affect our constitutional position. We should not start feeling that I am the controller, I am the master. Institutional position should help us to realize our constitutional position. That is more important. An institution will be given some position, but that should help us to become more humble, to realize what is our constitutional position. Otherwise, sometimes Lord may intervene and show what is our constitutional position. He may humble us, as He does for Lord Brahma also. So therefore, when we read, when we understand these stories or the actual incidents which had happened millions or billions of years before, we'll understand that how Srimad Bhagavatam is so powerful. It is not irrelevant, it is still relevant today. And our acharyas have put a lot of effort to make it more relevant, so that we realize our constitutional position and perfect our life and go back home, back to Godhead, not to come back in this material world. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada. Anybody has any question, please ask me personally because time is up. So I will stop now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay. What do you think?